This is the Input Box app. Here we see a lot of input boxes with numbers in them. Here's one input box by itself with the number 12 in it. Whereas here there are 20 input boxes, with 5 columns and 2 rows. Down here there's 100 input boxes, 10 columns and 10 rows. Well, let's look at this input box with the number 1234 in it. I'm going to click on it to make it active. I'm now going to hit the minus key. Notice now there's a minus sign there. That means that this is really minus 1234. Well, I'm going to take the minus key away by hitting the plus key. There, it went away. It's a positive number again. Well, I go to the right of that number, and I see what looks like the number 1234, but with a lowercase a. That lowercase a means there's one decimal place. That means that this is really 123.4. And in the next box, there's a lowercase b, indicating that this is really 12.34. And here a lowercase c, meaning this is really 1.234, and so forth. Lowercase letters indicate decimal positions. And the higher the letter in the alphabet, the more positions there are. For instance, here the I, this is really 0.50, 1, 2, 3, 4. So lowercase letters indicate decimal point positions. Now let's go back to the first box. We're now going to learn about capital letters. This box is active, so if I hit a capital letter A, it's going to indicate a power of 10. I did it, and the power of 10 caused this to become 12,340. It didn't put the A here because it said, well, I can multiply that by 10 and it'll still fit in the box. Well, what would happen if I would put the A there again? Now the A stood, because it can't shift this to the left anymore because it only has 5 positions. But this is the value of 10 times 12,340. And if this were a capital B, it would be 100 times 12,340. So as I go through the capital letters, I keep increasing the power of 10, or the number of zeros that follow the number that's given. That's the capital letters. Now let's go down here to the 10 by 10, which calls itself matrix A. Well, you see in matrix A, along the diagonal from the upper left to lower right, they're all ones, and everything else is zeros. That's an identity matrix. That identity matrix times this identity matrix below it, matrix B, equals the matrix C, which is itself an identity matrix, because an identity matrix times an identity matrix makes another identity matrix. Well, let's go put a value in matrix A at a 0 position. We're going to put a 2 there. Well, as soon as we put the 2 there, it changed the inverse, and that same position in it is a -2. Well, if we multiply this A matrix times the B matrix, we still get an identity matrix here, the C matrix. Well, what if I put another value in there? I'm going to put a 3 in this position. 3. Now we see down here there are decimal places now. In fact, this isn't a -2, but a -0.2. Here is a 0.4. Here is a 0.6. And here is a -0.2. Matrix A times matrix B is still matrix C, an identity matrix. Now we'll add some more. Let's say in this position, we're going to put a 4. In this position, we're going to put a 5. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to put a 6. And here, we're going to put a 7. Wow, every time we changed matrix A, the inverse changed. Now we see the first value is minus 0.425. Here the value is 0.325. Here the value is 0.075. Here the value is 0.3375. Here the value is minus 0.2875. Here the value is 0.0875. Here the value is 0.1875. Here the value is 0.0625. And here the value is minus 0.0625. And again, our matrix A times our matrix B is our identity matrix. Alright, here we're just showing you how we're putting integer values here and we're ending up with decimal values down here. Alright, this is the value part of input boxes. Now we're going to go to text input boxes. Here we have 200 text boxes. We have 20 columns and 10 rows, or 200 text boxes. These text boxes contain random numbers of 4 digits. However, they are no longer numbers. They have been converted to text. These are text characters. These boxes were then sorted, and down here they are in sorted order. The lowest one it found was space 46, which was right over here, space 46. You say, well, why did the spaces come first? Well, these are ASCII characters, and ASCII characters have a sort sequence. Let's go up here and click on Program, and down in the brown boxes is one about ASCII. We're going to click on ASCII. Here we see the space is a value 32, an explanation 33, and a number of special characters. Before we get to the numbers, here is 0 through 9. Then we have special characters, and here we have capital letters, A through Z. Then we have some more special characters, and then we have the lowercase letters sorted at the end. And the very last thing we have is a tilde. Alright, that's the ASCII sort sequence. We're going to go back and execute the program again. Well, let's go find that lowest thing. Here it is, space 46. We're going to go to the first position of it, and I'm going to click there. Now that box is active at the first position. I'm going to put a tilde there. There it goes. Now this guy who used to be first is now last. There he is at the very end. Tilde sorts last. Well, now we're going to go to the very first one here. And where it has a 5 there, we're going to put a lowercase a. Well, where did it end up? Well, the lowercase letters, they're near the end. They sorted to the end. So there, lowercase a, that value got put down here. Well, now the next one, we'll go to the beginning of it. We'll make that box active at the first character. And let's put a capital A there. Capital A's sort before lowercase. So, down here at the end we see that uppercase A, then the lowercase a. Well, let's go to another one and see what would happen. Let's go here, and there we're going to put the $sign. There, the $sign. Now where did that go? Well, we go down here. Not at the bottom, because the $sign is near the same as a space. So it just appears here now right after the spaces came the $sign. If we went to the ASCII sequence, we would see that a $sign is close to being a space. Well, we can keep changing these. I'd like to change one of them to a bracket. I'm going to put an open bracket at that position. Now, where did that one end up? Well, let's go down here. We see it here at the bottom. Here's the capital letter A, then our one with the bracket, and then our lowercase a. Well, if we go back to the ASCII sequences, we will find, yes, the special character of a bracket is between the uppercase letters and the lowercase letters. So here we see inputting data into text boxes. This is the end of the Input Box app.